Today on Hands on Wellness, I'm going to bring up that touchy subject again, body weight. Yep, I'm going to talk about it, so stay tuned. Hands on Wellness is brought to you from LastPass Studios. Using the same password everywhere is a security nightmare waiting to happen. LastPass easily creates unique passwords for every site. Visit lastpass.com/twit.
This is TWiT.
This episode of Hands on Wellness is brought to you by LastPass. Allow your remote workforce the ability to do their best work securely without jumping through hoops. Visit lastpass.com/twit. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Pruitt, and this is Hands on Wellness here on TWiT TV. I hope y'all are doing well. I am unbelievable as always. On this podcast, I love to share with you different technology, consumer technology that is going to help you get a better grip on your personal wellness. We have a whole bunch of different tools that are available to us that are that could be crazy expensive, or some could be not expensive at all. But at either rate, they offer us a great opportunity to get a better grip and raise awareness on our own personal wellness. If this is your first time catching this show, I want to say welcome to you and thank you for joining. Now go ahead and do me a favor and hit subscribe in whatever podcast app you're listening to, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcast or even Google's podcast app. I think they still have one. Just hit subscribe to Hands on Wellness in there, and also be sure to leave a rating and a comment to help push the show up so other people can discover the show as well. We're also available on YouTube, so you can go check out our YouTube channel and watch those videos and like, share, and subscribe and comment all over there as well. I appreciate all of the support, and I appreciate you being a part of our Hands on Wellness community. So now let's go ahead and get started with this week's episode. Okay, so back on episode 20, I brought up a pretty sensitive topic to most people, and that is body weight. And this week, I'm going to talk about body weight again. Yeah, because I got a scale. I got a smart scale in my hands this week from the fine folks at Wyze. Now, if you're not familiar with Wyze, which I would be shocked if you're a TWiT listener and you're not familiar with Wyze. Wyze is a company that was started by some folks that used to work at Amazon, and they put together a lot of different products, particularly smart devices that are really quite nice, but at the same time, they don't cost nowhere near as much as the more popular or more premium products that are out there available to you. You have the Wyze Security Cam. I recently did a demo and review of the Wyze Smart Band, which is a fitness tracker that's actually pretty good for the price point. Well, they now have a Wyze Scale, smart scale. And this is something, again, that you can put into your smart home and connect it up to your home Wi-Fi and have it linked up to your mobile devices and so on and so forth, because it's, air quotes, smart. All right. The difference between this scale and other smart scales out there is primarily the pricing. Back on episode 20, I talked about the cardio base smart scale, which is pretty nice. It's pretty, the user interface that ties into the mobile app was pretty good. But that thing was going to cost you about $150. I think that's a fair price, but I know $150 for a scale could be quite expensive for some. But let's think about the Wyze pricing point. You can get this one, pretty much the same type of technology. It's going to do pretty much the same thing the cardio base was doing, and it's only going to cost you $20. Yeah, I'm not kidding. $20 for this smart scale. Now let's put that in perspective. If you were to go to your local Walmart or retailer to say, hey, you know what, I need a digital scale just for the bathroom or whatever, just something I can check my weight every other day, every week, whatever, you're going to fork over at minimum $10 US. You know, that's pretty inexpensive. You may be able to find some from about $15. Here is Wyze popping onto the scene that's going to offer you a digital scale, but going to make it smart for a grand total of $20. That's a good value right there out the gate. Okay, so let me tell you more about the scale from a feature set. All right, with it being digital, you stand on it. It is a glass top. It's nothing fancy looking. It's just a black base with glass, tempered glass on it to help keep it from breaking this easily. It comes with a couple AAA batteries. You stand on it, and it has that old school quartz display to show you your weight. It can also do a scan and check your body fat measurement on it. And this is all using that same technology where it's using an electric current and sending it up through the bottom of your feet to help measure your body mass index, to help measure your body fat percentage. But it's also measuring a bunch of other things in there in addition to your weight. And most of this is available when you look at it inside of the mobile app after it's tied to your smartphone. Some of the things that are offered from the mobile app and from a measurement standpoint include muscle mass, which is done in weight, pounds, that is, body water percentage, lean body mass in pounds, your bone mass or bone density, which is quite interesting because as you get older, that's something you really need to be concerned with far as osteoporosis and things of that nature. You want to be able to know how your bone density is doing. Protein percentage, visceral fat, which is the fat that is found more so around your abdomen, is measuring the percentage of that some kind of way. Your basal metabolic rate. Now that's pretty interesting because what that's measuring is how many calories your body is going to need to take in to keep you functioning quite well and not necessarily keep you above the weight scale and above the BMI scale and being healthy. This is something that gives you a bit of a guideline. But yeah, there's quite a bit of different metrics in here that's being measured through that electrical current that goes through your feet. If you think back to episode 20 again, when I talked about this type of technology and that cardio base, I'm not going to say lean on that technology. I'm going to say make sure you check out this information with your medical professional as best that you can, because measuring body mass index and measuring body fat percentages, that's pretty common science out there, and it takes a couple different tools. And the electrical current that most of these smart scales are using nowadays, it works, but it's not necessarily widely accepted by the medical field. I'm not going to say it's political, but there tends to be quite a consensus that says, you know what, you can use this type of technology as a bit of a guide, but don't necessarily lean on it and depend on it. Now, before we continue, I'd like to take a few minutes to thank this week's sponsor, good old LastPass. This episode of Hands on Wellness is brought to you by LastPass. Now with 25 million users and 70,000 businesses, it's no surprise why they are the award-winning #1 password manager. They help you transition your remote workforce. Single sign-on manages employee access in a centralized view, so IT always has insight into who has access to what from where. LastPass has won 8 awards this year. You don't have to just take our word for it. LastPass speaks for itself. Visit LastPass.com/twit to find out how they can help you. That's LastPass.com/twit. And we thank LastPass for their support. Now, before I get out of here, I'd like to share my thoughts on this particular scale. I say it's good for it. It's $20. You're going to get something that's way better than just your standard stand on the scale to see what your weight is. I like the idea that it's going to allow me to check my BMI. It's going to allow me to see my rough body fat percentage. Again, these are rough numbers, and I'm not going to lean on it, but it's something that just sort of sticks in the back of my head to say, hey, yeah, Ant, you're doing not so good on this here measurement. You need to watch how you're eating. I also enjoy the fact that the mobile app allows you to look at the different trends over time, as you can check your weight. If you want to check your weight every day, every week, or whatever, you're able to see the trends of your weight going up or down, or if it's staying steady. And it's also trending for all of those other metrics that were mentioned in there. I'm not going to lean on all of those other metrics, but some of them are just a nice little estimate and benchmark to sort of keep in the back of my head. I do like that. But again, they get me for the magical price of $20 being charged for this device, and I think that's a great value. If you're interested in getting yourself one of these Wyze smart scales, we will have a link in our show notes and in the show description where you can check this out for yourself. How about you? What are your thoughts on checking your body weight? Personally, I don't like to check my body weight every single day. I think that's it could be a way of leading to some sort of anxiety and in some people's cases, depression. I'd say check your weight once a week or maybe twice a month, something along those lines. But what is your practice? Do you have a scale in your home? Do you have a smart scale in your home? If so, what is that smart scale? Let me know. Shoot an email over to hal@twit.tv to let me know your thoughts on the question, as well as the tech that you are using. And also, if you have any other progress that you'd like to share with me regarding your personal wellness, feel free to share that as well. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to give you a virtual high five to keep you rolling and pushing through this. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me this week. Make sure you're following me over on Twitter. I am ant_Pruitt. And make sure you're following TWiT on Twitter. We are good old TWiT on Twitter. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate you all taking the time to share the show with others and raising awareness about personal wellness. All right. With all of that said, you all continue to safely be well and do well. And yes, I am still looking for justice for Breonna Taylor. Y'all take care.
I'm Jason Howell, host of Tech News Weekly here on TWiT.tv, along with my co-host Micah Sargent. Each and every week, we talk to people who are making and breaking the tech news. It could be journalists writing amazing tech stories. It could be experts. It could be the sources of the stories themselves, developers, you name it. We bring them onto the show and we talk to them about why their story is resonating with the world. You can watch and subscribe by going to twit.tv/TNW. Make sure you do that and you won't miss a single episode. We'll see you there.